Hello, collective. So I'm going to channel while I do a couple tasks here in the back of the shop because multitasking. Now I want to talk specifically, I know what this channel is. This channel is for like truly newly awakened, but the problem is you're not calling yourselves newly awakened. It sounds more like I'm not particularly religious, but I'm being pulled to ... and then you say what you're gonna say, right? At least that's what's coming into the shop more and more. So I want to talk to that audience who walks into the shop and doesn't know where to start. Okay, you're not going to start with any item. We're going to start with a thought process. Okay, so yes, while I do some tasks, we're going to talk, and I'm just going to channel. So what you've really done is reawakened, because it's not the first time you've done this awakening. It's just the first time that you've done it in a long time, right? So it feels different. It feels new, and it's making you a little nervous, and that's fine. That's perfectly expected. So what you have is this place where you've always known what it is that you were going to do. You're going to wake up and you know what's going to happen next. But this time when you woke up, you didn't know what was going to happen next. And so you grab your phone and you start doing this mindless searching, really. But it's not mindless. It's actually intentional. Higher self is guiding you. You're not there yet. But there's a method to your inner madness that you haven't figured out yet. The key to all of this is for you really to shift how you initially have the first thoughts about the things that enter any of your five senses. You've up to this point believed that life is a certain way, but now you are at that place where you haven't learned the new, but you definitely know the old or the current isn't resonating anymore. It doesn't just make sense. So what do I do now? You search. That's what you're doing. You're searching, and the search is the point. Seriously, it's the destination is never the point. When you reach that destination, like I don't want to go too far on this tangent, but believe me, the destination literally kicks off a whole different life. and you're done with this one. So yeah, you definitely want to have this full elongated experience. You want this, and the thing is, there are things called cycles, right, where you notice, even today, you notice that certain things just happen over and over and over in your life. When it's good, you probably aren't even thinking about those. When it's good, we don't care about those loops. We like those loops. Like every year I get to go in the summer to the amusement park because what do I get? Blue cotton candy. Yeah, so, certain loops we love, but I'm going to draw your attention to not the A side, but the B side of the record, the experiences that are not comfortable, that are not fun, the things that make you go, why? That's actually the meat and potatoes of the thing. But this is just go with me here. If you can think about and agree that if we say that something is good or happy and something is like bad or unhappy, we enjoy, we don't enjoy, think about the things that you enjoy. You enjoy them for reasons. And when we feel that we have accomplished something, we want to celebrate. Fantastic. Now let's just flip. The things that we don't enjoy, those are the things that I dare say is where the work lies. You are working. These are tests of they can be of any kind. They're tests. And the point to the test is to pass it. You can make this academic. If you don't pass the test / fail the test, you must either retake the course or at minimum retake the test to pass it to do what's next. It's So many of these things, it's like we learn things in a very specific programmed way, but they're absolutely applicable to how we do this. There is a spiritual journey. You are going to live in a more spiritually connected way, rather than I'm just bumping about day to day thinking that there's no consequences, nothing happens, and when my body expires, I just or whatever your particular religion has always told you. There is this loop, there is this cycle that everyone in some way adheres to on a very personal level. How they do it, totally up to you, but you do have something there. All you're doing now is going deeper with it, because your spirit has been tapped to expand. And that's a beautiful thing. It is not necessarily a comfortable thing. I urge you to release certain words from your vocabulary that make it easier. I've been saying things like this in my videos over the years. Good, bad, right, wrong, easy, hard. Those 6, I don't really subscribe to those anymore. Certain adjectives make your work either prolonged or want to make you stop from doing it. So yeah, you want to extract certain words that just don't serve you, which takes me to what serves you, what doesn't serve you. When you hear words like that, your spirit has these coded messages within it, and periodically throughout your life there will be some decoding things that happen, and things become very, very real to you. You understand things in a very, very real way for no particular reason. It's not because you read it. You could have, and it just but this is called clear knowing. Certain things just become very real to you, and you can't explain why. Some of you want to explain why. Don't get hung up in that vibration, because it holds you. It's an ellipsis. It'll keep you there for a while. Experience is what teaches you. So you must move forward. When confused, continue to move forward. Doesn't mean drop it. Just continue to move forward. This is not the time where we want to sit and allow ourselves to just this isn't the time for that. This is the time for and move on, right? You take your note, whatever, and you want to keep moving. This going from industrialization, automation, AI, we're fast. Things are moving so fast now, and we are machines, ourselves. We've got natural and artificial intelligence competing for space here. So you want to be quite nimble in how you go about the living, how you go about the recognizing, how you go about the observing and turning any observation into required action. You'll get better at moving all these sides of yourself together. Some people that come from a corporate background do this easier, but then there's resistance if you're very niche oriented and you have a hard time stepping back and looking at bigger pictures. This is definitely a step back, look at the bigger picture. You're a piece, a very necessary piece in a huge whole that the more pieces awaken and connect, the easier it is to shift this into what's called New Earth. We're already here. We're calibrating and learning how to create ease in this space. And truly, it's actually easier to create ease in this space as it was to old Earth. Oh, that was quite a download there. And for whatever reason, it did cut out. And it was a lot. What I will say to kind of button up and close this down, because I don't like prattling on, give yourself some grace and do not feel bound. Yes, do not feel bound to do things in a particular way because you've seen it online, because you've seen it in this social space that you have engaged with through the portal that is your phone. Okay, that is called suggested content for you to take in and go, does this resonate? Does it not? Do I want to try it? Is it too complicated? Because if it's too complicated, you leave it alone. That is an answer, right? If you look at this and it doesn't just click, this makes, I can do this. I can try this. But if it looks a little next level, let it be, because one day you'll come back around to it. Remember cycles. You'll come back around to it, it'll make perfect sense, or you'll see that you've moved beyond it and you are in fact manifesting, blocking, whatever you're doing in a different way. I do want to share one last little tidbit before I go on, because I know that people like to search after videos comes another phase, right, that you're on your phones. If there's some critical tidbits that I would want to give anybody in the beginning, it would be not just for empaths, but you have an ultimate responsibility to understand your connection, your energy. You are to understand your energy, so that you are able to know what is yours and what is someone else's. And the reason that is important, particularly for empaths, young empaths, I've seen it with my son. Young empaths, they don't know the difference, and so they feel theirs and everyone else's things. They could come home after school and just be down, and you're like, what happened? And they're like, well, and you go through each and every class and nothing in particular happened. It wasn't their energy, it was passerby energy. It could be their friends, right? Because healers, especially as children, other children gravitate that are going through some ickiness at home, that they can feel just innately that vibration, and they want to, suck some energy off of it. So yeah, your empathic children can be bearing energy as a burden because they don't know how to express it or transmute it. And if that is happening with you or your child, and you want to talk more about that, then please send me a DM and let's just unpack it for you individually. So being able to tell your energy from someone else's energy is a very important thing. That is something that I would say that is the bullet point. If it isn't something you can already do, then that should be the next thing you research how to do, right? Protection, having boundaries, knowing how to create a boundary, knowing how to shift a boundary, knowing what to do in response to a boundary not being respected. That is very important. Number 2, being able to control your energy at all. You all out there flipping out and flickering lights when you do something, there's the signs. You want to be able to identify your energy versus someone else's, how to be able to protect it / have boundaries, how to be able to shift it. There are these basic things you want to do, and this is all you. How you do it is totally up to you. Some people naturally love crystals. Some people naturally love candles. Some people love herbs. Some essential oils. It's very much a sensory aromatherapy kind of experience for them. As you go on, you may turn out to be one that can dabble among all of those things. And then to continue your journey, you may get to that place where it is very telepathic and you don't necessarily have to utilize any tools at all. That's wonderful. I think I will stop it there. That was a lot. And you can tell me in the comments anything that you want me to dig further into from this, and I certainly will. I wanted this to be helpful. Again, if I didn't touch on something that you want talked about, let me know. I'll go on live, I'll talk to you directly, DM you, whatever you need. But yeah, I think it's time to get back to basics. And I know when I am called no longer to focus on healing healers, but I'm back to newly awakened, for me, that's a cycle. I know we've had at least, I believe 3 shifts, back to back before I was called back to newly awakened. It's fantastic. So yeah, make this journey very easy. Make it light. Don't make it work. Doing the work, that's program language, y'all. I don't want to upset anybody, but yeah. You can transmute sight unseen. Why do you need to rehash and revisit and rehearse the past, which you've already lived? Yeah, you don't need to recycle that twice. Poof. And there are ways to do so. Conversation for another day. So yeah, make this is a Friday. If you're on the timeline I'm on, it's Friday. Make this a beautiful one. Make it really make it one that you just radically transform. You don't have to have a reason to do so. And again, if there's something else you want to talk about, just let me know in the comments. If it's something of a more personal nature that you really don't want to put out there like that, then hit me up in the DMs and it'll be private. Other than that, make it a beautiful day.